Social Security, did they just announce it? That's a great question and exactly what we're going to focus on right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to focus on an announcement that was released earlier today that will directly impact the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries and those people that do receive benefits from the Social Security Administration. Now, some people are coming out suggesting they announced it for Social Security, and that's what I want to focus on, as well as offer some clarity on exactly that for all of you right here in the community, so let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all the new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay posted on what is actually going on and anything popping up you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, I'm here for you to help you out in any way that I possibly can. That's my promise, that's my dedication, and as always, I'm sticking to it. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about the announcement earlier today, what this means for the low-income, fixed-income beneficiaries, and is this the official announcement out of Social Security, and why did they announce this, as well as why are some people suggesting this? Great questions. Let me offer all this clarity for you. All right, now earlier today, we got the inflation report. Now, stick with me for just a second here. So once per month, usually around the middle of the month, we get a report out, otherwise known as the CPI data release. Well, we call it the inflation report, whatever you want to call it, it's all the exact same thing. So it comes out and it gives us a glimpse into inflation from the previous month, lets us know where inflation is sitting, where prices are still rising or possibly falling, if that's even a thing anymore, and they let us know where we are currently sitting with a year-over-year basis on inflation, right? So that report came out earlier today. Now, this is what's interesting about it. Here we are in July, but wait, we're in the third quarter. That means this is one of the inflation data points that we need to figure out how much the COLA is going to be, right? Or is this even in the announcement for the COLA? All right, let's stop for a second because I've seen all of this popping up today, and the crazy fools talking about this literally have no idea what they're talking about. All right, let me break this down for you and let you know what really is going on here. Yes, it is true. We are in the third quarter of 2023. We are in July right now, middle of July. I hope you're staying cool out there. It's a hot one. Depending on where you're located, it's hot, right? All right, so anyway, my point is, yes, it is true. We are in the third quarter right now. July matters. But this report this morning does not matter when it comes down to the COLA. This is not the official announcement out of Social Security. This is not the COLA raise. And this number that we got this morning, even though we are in the third quarter, does not matter. This number that we got today is in regards to June. Remember this much. They collect the inflation data from July, August, and September. Not the inflation numbers that are released during those months, but the inflation data that is collected from those months. Big difference. So the data that we got this morning is from June. That's last month, okay? So even though this report comes out and it sounds like, oh, this is it. This is piece one of the three-piece puzzle that I've talked about it before in other videos, and then we need to start collecting this data. Well, it sounds like it, but no, this one actually doesn't matter. It's next month. So in about a month from right now, when we get the next inflation report in mid-August, that'll be the first of three pieces of the puzzle that we need to gather in order to figure out how much the COLA is going to be. Kind of makes sense? So it's always like, call it 2 weeks delayed, if that kind of makes sense, okay? So the inflation reports that come out in the middle of the month are for the previous month. So today was June, next month will be July, the month after that will be August, the month after that will be September. I know it sounds weird because we're in July, but wait, next month is not July, next month is August. You're right. What I'm talking about is the report released in the middle of the month is for the previous month. So therefore, July is not over yet. We don't know what inflation is going to be as a whole for this entire month, if that makes sense, right? We're kind of in the middle of the month. Actually, we're not even in the middle of the month yet. We are close to the middle of the month, but we're, technically not at the middle of the month quite yet. A couple more days to go here, and then we're at the middle of the month, right? So that's what it means. When we wrap up July, then the inflation data will be in the books for July, and the next inflation report will be released in about a month in mid-August, and that will be the first of three pieces of the puzzle, if that makes sense, right? Remember, now, let me take a step back here for a second. Remember, the inflation data that was released today, okay, they're telling us inflation is going down. Really? Is it really going down? I mean, seriously, what a joke. It depends on what you're looking at, okay? Prices have come down on a few things. In fact, eggs. Have you seen the price of eggs lately? Eggs have come down a lot from where they were, call it, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think it was earlier this year. A dozen eggs was like $9, $10. It was crazy, right? Eggs were very expensive. In fact, my wife just asked me the other day, many of you here in the community know her, Corey, right? She pops around every so often. She does some reading for me. But the other day she bought, I don't know, 18 or 30 eggs or something like that. She's like, how much do you think they cost? And I was like, I don't know, $5 or $6? And she's like, no, it was $2. $2 for 30 eggs or something. It was like crazy cheap, right? Like back into the good old days, the poor man's food, right? I mean, let's be real for a second, right? Eggs are one of those things that's like, anybody could buy. But then, 5-6 months ago when they're $8 or $9 a dozen, nobody's buying eggs, right? So we eat a ton of eggs. Why? Because they're cheap, they're good, and why not, right? You can get a lot of meals out of not too many eggs, right? So it's always a great source of stuff. We buy like tons of eggs at a time. I mean, we buy like 60 or 90 eggs at a time. So it's just one of those things. We, use them every single day. Why not? It's just a great source of food, and, they're cheap. Honestly, I like cheap stuff. Cheap as in cheap price. That's what I mean by that. So anyway, eggs are an awesome thing. But again, when it comes down to that, what else have you seen collapse in price like eggs? Nothing. Virtually nothing, right? So anyway, when it comes down to it, no, this is not the COLA raise announcement. No, this inflation data point, it kind of matters because at the end of the day, it means that we're paying, more or less for different things. We're still seeing that inflation is rising on food and shelter. We're starting to see, that's still rising out there. This report shows exactly that. Just like all of the other reports out there, yes, the headline number is coming down, but that simply means the prices are not necessarily coming down, but rather prices are not rising as fast as they were a year ago. That's what that means. But they're trying to lead us to believe prices are coming down. No, they're not. Prices are still elevated like they always have been. They're just not rising as rapidly as what they were 12 months ago. That's all it means. But then all of these talking heads and the people out there are saying it's coming down. Inflation has come down a lot. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. It's just not rising as fast as it was 12 months ago. That's what it means. So that's why these numbers coming down, because it's like an overall running average, if that makes sense. If you drop off big numbers on the back end and you add smaller numbers in the front, the average comes down. Make sense? So anyway, it doesn't take that much, knowledge and, simple logic to figure that stuff out. And again, I know all of you here in the community know that because we've been talking about it so much, and all of you here in the community are smart and you get it, right? So anyway, hope this makes sense for you. But again, we'll watch all the details. It'll be in about 1 month from right now, give or take a couple days. But in a month from right now, we will be getting that report out on inflation. That is the key number, okay? It's not the COLA raise, but it will be piece number 1 of the 3-piece puzzle. Remember, I've talked about that before in other videos. We need 3 pieces of the puzzle. We need July's number, we need August number, and we need September's number. You can't get the full picture when we're halfway through the month right now in July, right? We need to wait for the month to be ending or over, and then we can get the official inflation data. Make sense? So anyway, I've seen it out there. I've seen it in a few different sources today so far. People saying, this is it. This is the official number for Social Security. No, it's not. Not even close. That comes in about 3 months from now. What is that? August? Yeah, 3 months from now. Okay, sorry. I had to count on my fingers real quick. I know. Sometimes I'm a pretty simple mind sometimes. Anyway, hope that kind of makes sense for you. But again, in 3 months from now, that is when we will get the official announcement. But all these inflation data points do matter. They all matter. It's a kind of a running average when we get them. But the official one, as far as the first of the 3 pieces, will be announced in about a month. This one still matters, but not quite as influential as the next 3 that are coming out, okay? It's next month is the big one. Anyway, hope that makes sense. Please leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you want me to elaborate on this or go through all the details of the inflation report from today, I can certainly do that in another dedicated video. I've done that previously in other videos, but honestly, I just find that a lot of people kind of just don't really care / kind of get irritated by it, which, I mean, rightfully so. Let's be real for a second. If we see all the details and the reports and showing all these prices continuously rising, it's just frustrating. I get it. So if you want me to come back in a dedicated video and break all those details down for you, I certainly can. Let me know. Otherwise, all you need to know is that prices are still high. They're likely not coming down anytime soon for the most part, except for select items like eggs. Eggs are awesome. Buy some eggs. They're pretty cheap right now. Anyway, hope this helps you. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Have a good one. Take care, and catch you again later.